You like the music?
Brooks and Dunn.
Good to be with you. It's Mornings with Richard Cross, SuperTalk Mississippi, streaming online at supertalk.fm, SuperTalk TV, presented by Community Bank. Find them online at communitybank.net. Representative Clay Deweese is my guest now. He represents District 12, that is Lafayette County. He's chair of House Appropriations Committee C and lives and works right here in Oxford. Good morning.
Good morning, Richard. Great to be with you this morning.
I appreciate you coming by. I've kind of thrown this out to everybody that has sat down. When you think about this event that's happening tonight, the Turning Point event in the pavilion with the vice president here and with Erika, Kirk here, with the backdrop of what affected so many people in Charlie Kirk's assassination, what are the thoughts that come to mind?
Yeah, sure. I think first and foremost, I think the way that this has been handled with Turning Point, with the university, with the student focus group, I'm so happy to hear that they're prioritizing the students. The movement that we're seeing, not only on campus but across the country, is fantastic. We look at the tragedy that happened just a couple of months ago, and our thoughts and prayers are certainly with the Kirk family as they deal with this. But I would like, as we focus on Charlie Kirk and his life, maybe move away from Charlie Kirk, the conservative activist, to Charlie Kirk, the follower of Christ. And I think that's how Charlie would want to be remembered. I think that
and he said as much.
Absolutely. I think that I know, because the Bible tells us, as followers of Christ, we will suffer, and it's what you do. Suffering is inevitable, but misery is optional. And we see Erika and Turning Point choosing to not be miserable and transform that pain and pain they're certainly going through, into something so great in this movement that we're seeing across the country. So, I'd like to, as we focus on tonight and just the events, really think about Charlie Kirk, the follower of Christ.
And it's interesting when you think about all of the emotions that Erika Kirk must have gone through. The pain of losing a husband, of losing the father to her children, the sadness that goes along with that, the shock, the grieving process. And there are people that, frankly, have been critical. They're like, well, how can she jump into this forward-facing role as CEO of Turning Point and speaking that have kind of painted her in a negative light? It's hard to put yourself in that position and know how you would react. And it's pretty – that's kind of a long way of saying I'm really interested to hear what Erika Kirk's message is going to be to 7,000, 8,000, 9,000 college students.
Absolutely. Richard, you and I can't imagine what she's going through, and to do it publicly with the world watching, again, she's transformed the pain that she's going through into something productive, and we're seeing that movement across the country. We're seeing that movement on campus. We're seeing the voices on campus. Senator Boyd was talking about just hearing the students talk, and we always talk about, these are the future. These kids are our future. I feel like I'm not far removed from that. You and I are not. I don't consider us that old.
Unfortunately, we're a little farther removed from college campus than we would like to admit.
That's correct. And, I look back on our college days, and we are what then was the future. And so these kids are our future, and to see the conversations that they're having, they're learning how to debate. They're learning how to listen, not listen to give a response, listen to hear what other people are saying. We all need to do that, and it's great to see that on this campus. And we're all going to disagree. My goodness, in the world of politics, we may all disagree. Senator Boyd and I, we agree on a lot, but we disagree on certain things, and that's okay. We can do that, and we can do it civilly and respectfully, and I think we all need to learn those lessons.
The disagree thing is interesting because it's not just the right and the left, Republicans and Democrats disagreeing. You may have seen this or read a story or two. Sometimes Republicans disagree with each other within –
maybe from time to time.
Even within a state legislature. I mean, it's crazy how it works, but it's finding a way. And to me, that's one of the biggest challenges that exist within the Republican Party, not so much in Mississippi, but even at the national level, is when you're given the opportunity with the majority to make positive change. How do you get past, well, my idea is better or my idea is better, to ultimately advance a conservative cause that is good for the constituents?
Sure, I think it's to keep your eye on the ultimate goal and don't let perfection get in the way of doing good. So many times we want to make sure everything we do is perfect. Stay focused on the common goal, and we can all agree. We may have different ways of getting there, but stay focused on the end goal.
I talked with Senator Boyd about this a little bit. The Freedom Center on campus, the Declaration of Independence Center. It's only a couple of years old right now, and yet we were talking earlier this morning about the growth, the number of students that are part of those classes that are focused on freedom studies. I had a chance to visit with a couple of them and have a couple of more before the show ends. What does that mean in terms of the Ole Miss campus and what it might translate onto other college campuses?
Sure. It's great to have it here, first and foremost. The movement a few years ago to get something established, I remember Senator Boyd and I were both a part of trying to get that established here on campus. Sometimes we get accused of being a liberal university and higher ed being considered liberal, this, that, and the other. We are a conservative university. You're talking about parents coming here. Fortunately, in my job, I get to deal with a lot of parents that have students here.
I saw you perk up on the side when Senator Boyd mentioned people moving to Oxford.
We were like,
yes, let's do that.
We like that. But time after time, I hear people say one of the reasons I came here was because of the political views and the conservatism of Ole Miss. And to have the Declaration class here, to have these students able to learn and see and in a conservative way is fantastic. I think with what you're seeing tonight, the turning point is as they continue across the country, and I think you'll see more of these organizations formed across the country.
Jacob Batt is in charge of communications on campus, media relations, and he told me earlier they're expecting over 150 media members from across the country and from multiple countries that are here.
Wow.
Specifically for this event.
This event tonight.
And I don't know if it's because of the vice president's here, if it's because of Erika Kirk, it's because of the limited number of stops on the Turning Point tour. But that's a pretty wide range there, a pretty big net that you're casting in terms of focused on the Ole Miss campus.
Yeah, fantastic. It's always great to have people on campus. We've got such a beautiful campus and a wonderful community that you and I get to call home. It's great to be able to show that off and have people from around the world being here. That's great. I didn't know that.
Yeah, it'd be nice if the sun would pop out.
Yeah, I need a little sunshine.
I'm not sure that's going to happen at this point.
A little dreary out there right now.
Maybe they can just hang around for the weekend as well.
Saturday looks great.
I asked Senator Boyd this, and I'm curious as well. What's the emotion going to be inside the building tonight as you kind of think about looking out over a sea of college students that are listening, that are engaged? What's it going to feel like?
Hope. Seeing someone going through what Erika's had to go through, and seeing her move through this. I know Senator Boyd talked about all the celebrations we've had in the pavilion and whatnot, and we've all been witness to a few of those. I think tonight will be a unique experience. I don't know that we'll have the roars of hitting a three-pointer to win the game and whatnot, Coach Beard's group, but I just think
crowd pop, I think, is what they call that.
Yeah, I just think that it's just going to be there will be some somber moments, I'm sure, but just to be there and to witness it would be really, really cool.
As you have engaged with colleagues, friends, people that you live and work with, what's been the discussion leading up to this event? Beyond, hey, can you help me get a ticket?
A few of those. Again, the focus on the students, we go back to the debate in 2008. That was a big deal for our campus. It wasn't, while it involved students, it wasn't exactly student-oriented. This is the focus on the future generation. And I think just seeing that is fantastic.
You and I have children that are roughly the same age, or exactly the same age. One of the things that struck me in the immediate aftermath of Charlie being shot was how this affected people that were junior high and high school age. Mm-hmm. Did you get a sense of that, even with your son?
Yes. As the kids come home from school that day, they're talking about it, and you're trying to grasp with it and then try to explain to our kids are high school age and junior high, just trying to explain to them what happened and why. And we live in a broken world, and I think there's evil in the world, unfortunately. And trying to explain to them and work through those things is certainly difficult.
Well, and the thing that just struck me was I knew Charlie Kirk was connecting with college students. Mm-hmm. I don't think I realized that he was connecting with 14 and 15 and 16-year-olds in the way that he was. But it's going to be a big deal. Thanks so much for coming by this morning.
Thanks for having me. Great
Representative Clay Deweese, District 12. That's Lafayette County. Coming up next, Emily Purifoy, Eli Keel going to join us. A couple of freedom studies scholars at Ole Miss.